Hello again everybody, Sebastian here with another Watch Your Realms video. In this one we're going to be talking about the expansion to the faction trials, the Esotericists. We got 3 new stages, that's right, but in this video I'm going to be covering 13 and 14 because there were some similarities to it, even though the difficulty in 14 did increase. As a preview here, I can kind of show you as to what they did in terms of expanding the rewards here at the bottom. They expanded it out to 339. So they are, for now, the esotericists and the watchers are getting added, but in the future, definitely there'll be more coming, and that's why they expanded it all the way to 339. Let me take myself off screen here a minute because you can see it here. The reward is faction exclusive ancient mythic gear once we get all the way there. So there are sacred and ancient and rare crystals. We have legendary skill crystals that we can depend on if you want to do that. The legendary card will still remain at 276, so any new players that are coming in, you only need 276 to get that free legendary. All right, so here we are, 13 and 14. I have opened them up here in the test server, and then 15 I will cover in a separate video because it is indeed a little bit challenging. So here we are for 13 and 14. The thing that I can tell you is, yes, the squad looks a little bit heavy on the gold, and that is, you know, part of what the esotericists are. There's a couple of epics here that you can probably utilize. There's no question that some of these may come into play. You may want to bring in Laurel if you want to boost up the rage. Nautilus, I didn't really find the spot him, but you can try him if you want to do some single target damage, because that's essentially what we're going to need. And here in the guide is pretty much just legendary heavy, and I expected that from something like this. So here you can see the map info. You can see that how the stages is set up. You're gonna have many of the units come from this side of the map. The one interesting is that there are Crimson Guards in this stage. So we're gonna have to figure out a way how to get them down with magic damage. Of course, we do have some ground units in the Esoteria that can hit ground or air units, so I utilize that to my advantage in some situations, as you are going to see it when I run the clip for each one of the stages. So yeah, so we're gonna have to keep in mind those Crimson Guards coming out. At the same time, we're gonna have to deal with the same type of units that we've dealt with in the past. So we know about the Corrupted Destroyers, we know about the Uncommon Destroyers, so they're susceptible to magic damage. Those are the white scholars, are the ones that are sucking our rage out. So we're gonna have to make sure that we get them out of the way. And then of course we do also have Common Destroyers. So it's a destroyer type of environment with a couple of Crimson Guards added to it. First thing is first, we're gonna play the clip here. This is stage 13. Okay, so we're gonna keep trying to keep an eye on the number of enemies that I had left to clear. So we're starting out with 36. So we're gonna see that the majority of them are going to be coming from that top left. So I expected them to be destroyers, so yes, I'm gonna use Boreas to kind of CC them and then make sure that I can get him out of the way. The only thing that I will say in terms of when you are watching this is how I decided to combat those Crimson Guards that were coming on the bottom. One of the things is that they're very quick at coming out, and not only that, they have a very long range, so they'll snipe you from wherever, and you know that if they manage to hit you, they're going to corrupt the tile. So you're going to want to try to avoid that. I know that I'm using a very specialized set of heroes here. There's a lot of legendaries, and you know there might be opportunities later on where we can come in and try it out with epics if somebody wants to have that kind of fun. But for this first playthrough, my best advice is that don't get caught up too much with the heroes that I'm using. I would just suggest that you look at how everything is coming out and how you might have to counter it with your roster, and then plan for that. But at least here it kind of gives you an idea of how things are being released. So I'm gonna let the clip play, and then I'll come back once this is done. Oh, I forgot to mention that the condition to beat this stage and get 3 stars is no one can die. So that's why you saw me there pull Lyra back, because I did not want her to die. Okay, at least she did what I wanted her to do, but I just did not want anybody dying on this. So I would only use this strategy if you have a hard-hitting Ares, because he needed to clear that Crimson Guard as well. So that's why I used him there, and I activated his ultimate when I saw the Crimson Guard. It's just to make sure that he was able to take both of them out. But the Crimson Guard still got one shot off, so I had to remove him from that tile, and now I just had to wait for the next set of destroyers to come out. And I was just gonna probably I was thinking about just letting Boreas take care of it, or there are some other situations here where we could take care of them. So you're very sturdy commit. We build him with a lot of attack. He should be able to manage this very well here. So here I'm bringing Ares back, and we're gonna start smacking destroyers and try to take him out before they get out of his range. And there is some Crimson Guard in there as well. All right, so Ares did what I wanted him to do. We're getting down to 8, so I knew that this crimson or this destroyer here on the bottom left was going to be the last one, so I knew Boreas could probably take care of him, not have any problems. Now, the reason that I use Eye on this is because she slows things down, and so there, Benoma herself was able to manage that top right portion of the map with herself, just by having the support from Eye. And then Comet and Boreas can take care of the rest. So, and then one more hit here, and we should be able to complete stage 13. So that's essentially what stage 13 is. Now, stage 14 is almost the same, except that there are more monsters to deal with. So there's that. And now let's fast forward to stage 14. All right, so here are the details for stage 14. Again, we cannot allow anybody to die. We can retrieve them, but they cannot die. That is the one thing that we need to make sure of. And then you can see here, the ones you clear, you're going to be able to farm. We're going to get ancient exclusive gear from this faction by farming 13 through 15. Okay, so now that I had an idea of what was going on with 13, here I came to 14, and one of the things that I realized is I really did not need Trusk. I just wanted to make sure that I could get enough help to make sure that we could bring people down. So we brought in Laurel for this one, because there might have been a situation where I wanted that ultimate back a little bit quicker. So that's essentially what we're going to do here, but it's pretty much the same test. It's pretty much the same cast. The only thing that I'm changing here is that I am benching Trusk. So here we go. And again, the layout's pretty much the same. We're going to have to deal with Crimson Guards. We're going to have to deal with Destroyers. And we got to make sure that the Crimson Guards don't just go all over the map. Otherwise, they're going to pretty much wipe us out and corrupt every platform and ground tile that there is in the map. So again, I'm using Comet. You can use Boreas if you want. So I'm using Comet or Boreas here. That's an alternative to clear all this. You say, oh, it damages potent enough to try to manage it all. So that's no big deal there. Elga here is another unit that I decided to bring in to see if she could help me with the Crimson Guards. I just wanted to see what she brought to the map, essentially, if we can use her in any way, especially with her stuns. So that's why I'm bringing her here. Lyra is a great single target hitter. So that's why I pretty much knew that we're going to have destroyers here. So I knew that she was going to be able to clear them. So that's why I decided to bring her in this situation in case we do need her. But I think that if you have Warriors and Comet, those are going to be your stronger units to help you manage all of this coming at you. So again, I'm keeping an eye for the Crimson Guard. So there it is. And now here is where I decided, what if I use Helga? Rage is going to be available right away. And there we go. We clear that one out. Now we don't have to worry about it going wild. Okay, so same type of strategy as we did before. All right, so I see that Crimson Guard getting out. So this is one thing that I did notice, is that there is a little bit of a delay before she starts moving. So that's enough time to allow Boreas to get his ultimate back up to build up his rage, so we can slow him down. So I was trying to use Laurel as bait here, but the Crimson Guard had already committed to Boreas. So now Boreas's tile is corrupted, but we're getting enough healing from Elowen to try to sustain this. So I left them there to see if we could clear the destroyers. So yes, Elowen is working a little bit of extra time right now. There we go. Comet just taking care of all of this by himself. All right, so on this one, I am going to bring Ares in, start smacking people around. Now this time the Crimson Guard goes north instead of south of the map. So this is why I was not able to get rid of that one. But we do have the one here that split up on the bottom. So at least he's able to he's going to be able to take one of them out. So again, as long as the wooden elf was able to clear keep him healthy, I just let him finish it. So here we go. We're going to activate Boreas' ultimate. Now this tile is already corrupted, so I'm not seeing any health. Well, it's not multiplicative in terms of the amount of health that Boreas is losing, so I wasn't too concerned by it. So here I just decided to use Helga to help bring down the destroyers. There you go. So done. 14, pretty simple. Just make sure you have enough DPS to handle all those destroyers coming, and I think that you should do very well in these 2 stages. All right, so to close this out, some of you may be wondering what type of gear and how I build these heroes for this content. So might as well show you, even though it was a first time playthrough. But here with Venoma, I just put her on an ageless set. I just want her to deal with the top side, and I'm tanked her up a little bit just to make sure that she could handle everybody, and gave her an attack speed amulet. Again, this is all dependent on what you're able to do in that corner. She did it well enough, and that's what I decided to stick to. Here is my build for Esren with the light grace here and the invigoration. I believe I put 2 healing effects and 1 attack bonus on him, which is it is, and he had his exclusive, just so he could, in case we needed it, come back to his ultimate again. This is here, this Boreas, which is a 1 Soulbone Arcana with Wicked Vengeance, TOT, okay? And it seemed like for this, 17,000 attack was the sweet spot, so that's what I went with. And 343 critical damage. You can see the attack speed there, which, you know, in some situations he needs it, and some he does not. Eloan, same thing as S-Ring, like Grace and Invigoration. I believe attack speed was the main. I did want her a little bit tanky just in case. This is an 8-3 Eloan. Of course, attack speed. That's primarily it. That's exactly what I wanted her to do. So a lot of attack, a lot of speed. That's essentially what I do. Just put those icicles down, and if they explode, do a little bit of damage, okay? All right, so let me keep going here. Helga, my Helga. So this is an A0 Helga, and she did what I needed her to do. So a little bit of damage. So another set here with a Cataclysm set, and she did have her exclusive just to give her a little bit more rage and attack speed. Also, to her exclusive artifact, fully level. All right, with this Cataclysm set, 17,000 attack, 504 speed. Yes, we crit capture, 303 critical damage. So definitely she's doing a good job in that. This Ares, fully awakened Ares, so just make sure that your Ares can smack just as hard to take care of those Crimson Guards. So almost 20,000 attack, 389 speed, 382 5 critical damage. So that's the build for that. Let's see, Lyra. This Lyra, again, yeah, I picked the A5. Tear of Twilight, and the stats with the Soulbone Arcana set, 20,000 attack, 353 critical damage, 419 speed, some rage regen there. So definitely built for that. We didn't use Trust for this, so we don't need to show you that. And Komet, I think Komet is the other one that you guys probably want to see. So there is the Wicked Vengeance with the Soulbone Arcana set. 19,000 attack, 378 speed, 328.5 critical damage. His exclusive fully level is what did it for this. That'll do it, folks. This is a preview of stages 13 and 14 of the faction trials for the Esotericists, just to give you an idea of how things are being deployed and what you can expect coming at you. And hopefully it gives you also an idea of how you can combat each one of these units with the roster that you have. Stage 15 here will be a separate video because this was definitely a very fun stage to try to figure out. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching. Please do remember to hit like and subscribe on your way out, and I will see you all in the next Watch Your Realms video.